Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not asking us to run a test among us of who can have the most ridiculous ideas, but I'm asking who can reach out and touch the lives of men and women for Jesus Christ. How's your church scoring so far? Some pastors give me different reasons. One said, I would like to do something, but I have some folks in my church that they just put the brakes on anything I want to do that will bring people who aren't like us in the church. Well, they're going to face that in judgment. I'm going to be honest with you tonight, because we're called to take the gospel to the world. Amen. There was a fellow in the town where we used to pastor, and he was a town drunk. And he didn't look good and he didn't smell good. And he lived in an old shack on the north side of town. Never worked a day in his life, they told me. And he'd come by our kitchen door and want to talk to me. And it was so bad that out of kindness, not out of any rejection of him, but I would get a metal chair. I'd get two of them because I was going to join him on a metal chair. If he sat down on the fabric chair, there's going to be some dry cleaning had to be done, I'm telling you. But I'm not making light of him. I'm telling you, here was a man who needed Christ. I would pick him up from time to time in my car and take him back up north to town where he lived alone in his old shack. And then I'd have to go by and try to clean the front seat of the car. I was always glad I had leather. One night in church, I was getting ready to turn the service over to our guest speaker we had that night. And the church was packed. And they were standing up along the back wall back there. And I was still handling my part of the service, and I looked back and I saw Nate coming. Came through the door. He'd never been in that church since I was there. And I heard what he said. One of the ushers said, offered to help him, and he said, I want to see the preacher. Okay, just a minute. I want to see the preacher. Oh, okay. I saw what was happening. Got the speaker up very quickly and made my way back and said, hey, Nate, come on with me. Let's go downstairs. And went downstairs, and I said, Nate, what's going on? I want to get saved. You want to get saved? Yeah, I want to get saved. Are you drunk? No, I am not drunk. I said, we're going to get down at these chairs, and they were metal too. I said, we're going to pray. And that dear man got down and prayed the sinner's prayer. And we praised the Lord together a few minutes and headed upstairs, and he didn't know you're supposed to stay and wait for testimonies and an offering. He just headed out the door. See you, preacher. I was relieved, but I was so thrilled. You know, you never know how those things are going to turn out. But in the middle of that week, someone called me and said, Nate's in the hospital. And I thought you might want to know. I said, I'll go right down. And I went into the hospital, and it didn't look good. And I talked to him a minute, and I said, Nate, you remember who I am now? You're the preacher. Okay, Nate, do you remember what we did Sunday evening? I got saved. So I knew it was working. It was either that Friday or the following Monday I preached Nate's funeral. But I'm so glad that there was a place and my church didn't reject him and we could lead Nate to the Lord. His mother had been a blind woman, attended that church, and she had prayed for him all her life and never saw him enter the church. But her prayers were being answered after she was already gone to heaven. Now I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, somehow we have to get our heart involved in the life of lost people. It's an absolute must. It doesn't matter how beautifully we sing or how eloquently we may preach or how lavishly we may adorn our church. It doesn't really matter when it comes to comparison. The soul of a man is the most important thing of your items of business. Amen.